All right, welcome back to iHeart Crypto. So let's talk a little bit about what we expect for the upcoming week for Bitcoin. As you can see, we entered capitulation, a very, very, very long week of capitulation. Of course, we were looking at our chart on the Heikin-Ashi candles. Give me just 1 second. Turn off my air conditioner. This is too much. Yeah, I got a text message. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. All right, back at it. So, here we go. What do we got going on in the overall crypto market? Well, to make sense of things, let's pop into here. I mean, how many weekly candles has this been for red? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We almost got 10. Let's count it. 11, 12, and then this is lucky number 13 in our downtrend. One little weekly green candle, and I don't even think that you can even really count that as something, to be honest with you. So what else we got going on here? So let's just pop into the lower time frames and see what we got going on. Let's pop over to the 4 hour first. All right, we had a wick down here on the daily. All right, there's your daily, down to approximately 17,593. Crazy, absolute insanity. And on my chart, the 16,613, well, that is your 300-week moving average. All right, we closed below the 200-week moving average. That's this white line right here. Oh, let's make that a little better. White line right there. All right, so we closed below that. Based on Bitcoin's history, we don't stay below that for too long. All right, so over here on Coinbase, we had it down here. We held it as support in the 2018, 19 bear market. This one right here, I think that was 2018. Yeah, 2019 bear market, and then the C dump capitulation right here. We held it as support. Now we're actually below it. So this is probably a great buying opportunity for Bitcoin. Now, would I be buying in this exact moment? No, and I'm going to show you why in a second. All right, but my blue line right here denotes the 300 week. That would be our next stop for our line of support. And then we have other lines of support as well, and I'm going to go over right now. So let's just pop over here into the daily, actually. So, one thing that I've been looking at is, if you don't know Traders Reality, check out Traders Reality. Tino is the absolute GOAT. All right, let's pop over to Binance. All right, and let's just take a look at something we call, these vector candles. Now, these vector candles are basically high volume candles that the market makers, are trapping traders, making a move to the upside, and then we come back down, take the liquidity, and we head back down. Now, we do have this vector candle here for them to come back up and take. And so we could see a push up as high as 26,000. All right, but looking over on the weekly, we have taken all of these vector candles right here. Okay, and then we're looking at vector candles. We just took that one. What I would say is our next stop would be this one right here. All right, so we took this one. We're going to take this one next, possibly. All right, let's make that yellow. All right, and then we have this one right here. And if the market makers are so inclined, we got this one right here. And God help us if they decide to take this one. I don't think they're coming back for that little guy. I honestly don't. I really don't. And they'd have to get through all of this support right here. Years of trading. All these years of trading right here from, the 2018 run up, all of this. So do I think they come back for this guy? I think they might come back for this guy. And that's sitting down there at 10K. But do I honestly think that we're going to 14K? Yes, I do. And we'll know that if they come for this vector candle right here. Once we get past that, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to be pushing price down all the way down to here. So I don't think that they're really going to be pushing price down that much. But, looking on the VPVR here on Binance, I mean, you don't have like a ton of support up until about 12K. So, that could be your bottom right there. So we're going to denote that right there. So these are your lines in the sand. So, if I was DCAing, I would be DCAing at, about 16K, about 13.7K, 12K, and 10K. And then I would save 30% of my money on the side for about $5,000 and throw the rest in right there. And that would be my strategy. So that's what we're looking at on the weekly time frame. Those are my levels of support of where Bitcoin could go. Could this be the bottom? Who knows? There's a lot of things to be thinking about because, you got the DXY, all right, absolutely mooning. Let's come over here. All right. So, you kind of have like a little bit of a cup and handle on the DXY. Or, you could even say that you have a little M formation where we could be coming down for a correction. All right. But it's been holding that 50 EMA on the daily really, really, really well. But more importantly, you got the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones was in this descending channel. And, you got a daily closure outside of the channel. So that says a lot. Now you get a little couple more daily closures outside this channel. You're not looking too hot. Okay? So, you could be seeing, somewhere around 25,000 points for the DXY coming down here. Could that be the last leg down? Who knows? Nobody knows where this market is going. I'm just giving you what my views are and some of the things I hear on YouTube, and I'm relaying those messages and stuff like that. But that's basically what we're looking at here. Of course, we know Bitcoin follows the NASDAQ. NASDAQ actually held its support line for me. S&P closed below the support line. So we're at like a really interesting point in the market. But if we're looking at oil now, oil is something I'm keeping a close eye on. And the price of oil is going to tell me a lot about the price of Bitcoin, because, for example, your middle class guy, your average guy, your average investor, if oil is up and they're spending a lot of money on gas, they're not going to have extra money to throw into risky assets. So right now, oil is coming down. All right. Looks like we could be forming some kind of bear flag. So that could be good for Bitcoin's price. So let's pop into the smaller time frames and see what we got going on for the price of Bitcoins. All right. So, from the bottom, we did have a nice little bounce here. All right. From 15.5, that's a nice 20% bounce. That's a great bounce. But is that just resetting our indicators? So on the 1 hour, all right, you did have like an inverted head and shoulders. All right. Where you had a shoulder, head, and a shoulder back up to the upside. That's what you had. Now, what do you have? Now, what you have is basically like a little rising wedge that is breaking down. All right. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for a little W reversal pattern. Okay? Where we come up, come back down, we're coming back up. This would have been the other leg. Boom. W reversal pattern. All right. That's in essence what we're looking for. All right. And, basically we're looking for this liquidity up in here, this gap. We want to fill this gap. And then we could gap up here to about, shnikes. 29K. Look at all these shorts that are just sitting in profit. Just, are they paying themselves, as Tino would say? I don't know. I have no clue. But it's very, very, very interesting. So, we have our low targets, all right? Down there. And, one thing is we come over to my Coinbase chart is, I like to look a little bit like macro-ish, but, if we look over here on Market Cipher, all right, on the weekly, you don't stay down in the red too long. So anytime you're in the red, is a good time to be buying Bitcoin. And right now, you know, we are in the thick of it. We are in the thick of it, and we are touching that bottom, like the bottom of the bottom on the red here. You know, like we are almost there. We've never been like this thick, this deep into the red. So, you know, I'm kind of expecting like a little scoop, and my drawing's kind of working out. So, you know, the money will come down first, and price will start moving up as it's coming down. You know, that's just how it's gonna work. So yeah, that's what we got over here on the weekly on Market Cipher. All right, we don't have any green dots or anything like that, but let's just check the 5-day. Let's see. 5-day. I mean, your momentum is all the way down here. All right, you're still in the red. This is a great time to be picking up some Bitcoin, to be honest with you. All right, we don't have any dots, and this is not Market Cipher. This is something different, but it's like the poor man's Market Cipher. You're saying. All right, you had your bullish divergence here on the daily. All right, boom, move up to the upside, and now you're kind of coming back down. Okay, so but on the shorter time frames, you know, what are you getting? I mean, the 4-hour looks like complete garbage. I mean, you were just in the thick of the red, but you are making higher lows on your money flow. All right, so, you know, could we see a push up here? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, could you be making a lower low in the 3-hour? That's also possible. Okay. You know, this double bottoms, you know, you could take that risk. You could throw some money into Bitcoin at about 17.5 and see if it sticks and see if that's the bottom. But I would wait for about $18,000 to $17,500 before I DCA'd back into Bitcoin. This move is to trap people, and then we're gonna get the retrace. Okay, so you get the move down, you're gonna come back up, retrace, and then you're gonna come back up. That's the way that works. All right, so no rush, absolutely no rush. So let's just pop into the even smaller time frames. You are getting that correction right here. All right, and let's go over here to our vector candles and see what we got going on. This is our Binance chart, I hope. And my trader's reality should be on. It is. So we got vector candles popping up. Let's go to the hourly. All right, so it looks like you've taken this vector candle. I mean, you've kind of taken these candles already, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's likely they're coming back down to the week low, at least the psychological low, right here at about 17,900. So 18 grand would be your next. You know, if you think that Bitcoin is going to be going up from here, 18 grand is a great entry point for you to test that theory out. I am in the camp where we set these buy orders. You know, I'm looking to DCA into Bitcoin, you know, 16K, 14K, 12K, 10K, 6K. That would be these are your buy orders right here. All right. What is this? Why is that there? 39,000. I don't know what this is. I don't have to worry about it. Oh, I'm wondering why it's not grabbing it. All right, good enough. Good enough. No concurrent viewers tonight. Been live for 15 minutes. Let's just take a look at the overall crypto market cap. And before we get out of here, I got some homework to do tonight. You know, 24 hours, Ethereum up 10%. All right, and they got a nice bounce today. Of course, it was a holiday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Dogecoin up to almost 12% on the day. All right, Litecoin having a day. Shout out to Tom Crown, big fan of yours, buddy. Yeah, we got some good movers here. Big bounce today. It was a great day. You know, when there's blood in the streets, buy. If you're a trader, you know, that's a great time to buy. Looking for that bounce. But you know, you got some things turning from dark green to light green. Probably going to be going back into the red later in the week, in my opinion. All right, some good movers here. GMT was a good mover today. eGold. What else? AVAX 10%. A lot of 10%, a lot of 8%. You know, well, let's degen a little bit. Render. Wow, what happened to Render? Render, I noticed, you know, if you ever are trying to trade a bounce, Render is a fantastic coin to trade off a bounce. If you're trying to catch the bounce, if you know where, you know, the Bitcoin bottom is, I mean, Render is an absolute phenomenal coin. Look at this. Wow, Render up 7% today. I mean, let's just check it out on the small time frame. I mean, look at that bounce. Holy smackerels. 100% on Render. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Render is a great bounce coin. I noticed that. That when the market bounces, Render's the one that bounces the hardest. The absolute hardest. So, interesting stuff. Gotta keep that in mind if you are trading, because you can find Render on KuCoin. You can leverage trade Render. All right, that would have been an absolute like massive trade on Render. Crypto Fear and Greed Index yesterday was at a 6. Absolute extreme fear. Now we are at a 9. So, you know, people like the bounce, but we're kind of just oscillating here between, you know, in the low teens to now the single digits. We've just been in the single digits here now since the 14th. So for about five days, we are just in extreme fear. So, you know, that's the best time to be buying Bitcoin, when there is extreme fear. And we've just been slowly going down. You know, but what do we notice is that when we have extreme fear, you know, we have a clump of fear and then a spike up. So we got a clump of fear, a spike. Clump of fear, spike. That's just how the flow of the market works. All right, what do we got coming up for this week for the Forex? So the 19th, we have core retail sales coming out on Tuesday. CPI Wednesday. Really, CPI. Interesting. Fed Chair Powell testifies Wednesday. I don't know what that is. If I click on it, does something happen? No. It's just a marker of an event. So one of the things was that, you know, Solana. We're big fans of Solana on this channel. Look at Render, absolutely mooning. Solana is an interesting coin at the moment to me, because if you take a look at Solana, I mean, let's come to a better chart. All right. Here, and let's try to do this. All right, and let's put Bitcoin over here. Bitcoins. All right, let's come to the weekly. All right. So let's just take a look at Solana, okay? Solana, when I came in, at least, we had the summer crash of 2021, okay? Solana at that time had crashed down to, it's a little hard to see, but let's see, $19. Okay? $19. And that was when Bitcoin was at about $30,000. All right? And then, of course, as it bled out, Solana also bled out, but bled out not really reaching that $19 again, but it reached about $22. Okay? Now, Bitcoin is now at $19,000, and Solana is at $32. So the price of Solana is being propped up. And a friend sent this to me today. It said FTX and Sam allegedly bailed out massive crypto companies to limit this crypto crash. So they are buying up the token and like propping it up, if you will. So you're getting a nice move down right about now. This would have been a great short. Imagine. And it looks like you're hitting some support here. Let's come back here. We should use my KuCoin chart. I like my KuCoin chart. This is the 1 minute. Looking on the 1 minute. All right. So it looks like you've kind of come back. You've come back down to take this full circle. A little pump, and we're back down. Now, is there going to be a continuation? That's the question. All right. Let's take a look at our indicators here. 15 minutes is at the bottom. That is a positive. You could get a 15-minute could save you here on your Stokes. Your RSI is getting low there. You don't have any divergence to speak of at the moment. Okay, but let's pop over here to your hourly. Now here's the thing. Here's how you know you're making bearish divergence on your hourly, where you have lower highs in your price action and higher highs in your RSI. So there's your bearish divergence. Okay. Let's see this bearish divergence on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, let's see. Four-hour bearish divergence suggests a move down. Okay, but where there's bearish divergence, let's check to see if there's any bullish divergence on some of these higher time frames. So bullish divergence, you did make bullish divergence. You're always going to be making bullish and bearish divergence, to be honest with you. The question is like, where do we go from here? So on the daily, so you're not really making bullish divergence anymore. It looks like, it seems like the bullish divergence has played out, and now you have your bearish divergence playing out. Now, how low can you go? I mean, this is the question. We got a little rally, and everyone's getting excited, and this is the Bitcoin bottom. I don't think that this is the bottom. I think that you can call the bottom at about 14K to 7K. Now, how quick do we get there? That's the other question. That's the $1 million question, to be honest with you. And and I look on my wow. Hold on. Let me just take a sip of this real quick. All right. So let's just take a look at, like, just the macro. I mean, look, you're basically sitting in a descending channel. That's very obvious. Now this line right here, this white line, all right, this has a touch here. This is your touches back here, your 2018 bear market, your P crash, your C crash, whatever, C19 crash, boom, right there. I mean, so what are we looking for here? We're looking for a bottom right in there. There's your trend line to hold. And that is sitting anywhere between like 7,500 and 8,000 and 8,000. I think this is your bottom. This is your bottom. You're going to see like a wick down here or and then kind of just trail up. I think that this right here, just absolute capitulation. Right? Some stops on the way. And then right here, you're at the end of Q, whatever quarter this is, and then you're just running sideways. And then they're gonna hit that line. Oh, it's a breakout, and then we'll kind of start to come up and start taking back all of this. Up until then halving, right? And then I think usually you get a dip. And then boom. And then boom. That's my thinking. That is my thinking. Save that. Clip that. Okay? So I got this red line drawn in here. This would be the breakout. December, Christmas time. Ask for Bitcoin for Christmas. All right? So, if you're like me, I'm a little bit of a degen. Traded away a lot of my capital. We're not going to do that again. If you're using leverage, don't use 100x leverage, man. Just don't do it. Stick to 7x. That should be your go-to. 7x. That's it. Build slowly. All right. Here's another interesting thing. I just looked at this. Bitcoin dominance. Look at dominance. Dominance was mooning, and now dominance is not mooning. Look at this. I mean, This is very interesting. We just came down here to test this. Maybe we're doing another retest before trailing up, but Bitcoin dominance should be mooning. I'm just, you know, and then boom, December 26th, right here. Maybe we get back up to about 57% and get rejected from there, from all of this. All right, maybe we come up a little bit higher. Actually, you know what I could see happening? I could see Bitcoin dominance just kind of trailing up. Okay, so like this, trailing up, hits this line, starts to go a little parabolic, comes back down to the line. All right, kind of trails up, gets rejected, comes back down, and then Bitcoin goes on a tear. And that would be, you know, no, that's not really the right timeline, but yeah, we would be going on a tear right around the halving. Okay? So, time, as Ben Cowan would say, is on our side. Time is on our side. But what I do expect is that during this run up here, all right, whatever it is, whatever it looks like, altcoins are going to get absolutely demolished. Absolutely demolished. And if you're looking, all right, you got your Ether to Bitcoin pair looking absolute garbage. All right, it is just ready to capitulate down to the downside. All right, AVAX just absolutely getting crushed by Bitcoin. All right, Solana, interesting enough, had a good run against Bitcoin, but now, I mean, look, it is overextended. All right, it looks like it's going to be coming back down. So a short on Solana would be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Solana's had a good run up against Bitcoin. We like Solana on this channel. I know Solana has a lot of problems and all that stuff, but I just look at the performance of the coin and I like it, and I like it. So, what else didn't we go over? If you don't know, this is free in the description of the channel. All right, Beginner's Guide to Crypto Assets. I give you all my favorite YouTubers. Okay, and it takes you through, you know, what is money, you know, and why Bitcoin, you know, what is the technology. All right, gives you lots of cool stuff in here. All right, we go over the fundamentals, and we go over the technicals as well down here. All right, right down here we go, and we give you some cool charts. I mean, this isn't actually a cool chart. Everyone was talking about this on social media today. Oh, fire sale for Bitcoin, basically a fire sale. We're in the blue. Like, your rainbow chart is about to get freaking killed, bro. I mean, the blue, it's gonna wick down. Some of these things, man, you know, some of these things, I just don't. These models are good until they're not, you know. These models are good until they're not. So, and then we got the Bitcoin Bull Run Index. I like this one too, but again, these are just guides. These are just guides. I mean, is it this one actually? See, this one doesn't have it in the dark green yet. You want to see that in the dark green, and we're not as low here as you'd want to be. I mean, we've gotten down to 4s here, you know, in the last couple, you know, bear markets or whatever. So, you know, we're doing good. We're doing good here on some of this stuff. We're getting to the bottom. That's all I know. The bottom is close. Yeah, maybe another half a year. All right. The Bitcoin hash rate. Let's see if anything's changed on that, because this will tell you a lot about the miners. Hash rate a little down today. That's totally cool. I'm just wasting time here, sitting on a live. Let's see if people are bringing Bitcoin onto exchanges to sell it. I mean, that would be the Bitcoin actually has been leaving exchanges. Looks like some people wanted to sell their Bitcoin here. That could have given you a sign of the capitulation. Looks like it's going down. All right. What else is there? What else is there? That's about it. So you're getting a little pullback here. All right. What do we see this doing here? This price action. We're probably, at least on the 15-minute, going to retrace some of these moves. Let's look at No red vector candles popping up on the hourly. Stopping volume candle. No real... there's your red vector candle to come back up and take. Oh, they left one up there on the 15-minute. Interesting. You might come back up here to take that. Kind of create a double top and then kind of come back down. I mean, we know how Bitcoin loves its M formations. So, you know, what you could be looking at here is, you know, you come down, come back up, take that candle right there. You'd come up a little bit higher, get everyone bullish, and then we'll come back down. Get a bounce, come back down. A little bounce here. And then kind of double bottom right there. And then there's your W formation. That's just what I'm looking at. So now is not the time to short. Now is not the time to long. If you want to short, you do it from up here. If you want to long, you do it from down here. You don't play in these little mid ranges. You want to play right in this range right here. You want to play this range, right? You want to play this range right here. You want to long. You don't even have to wait for the low. All right, you can long right around here. But yeah, there would be your. This is your range right here. I mean, this is a big range. You know, like if you're longing and you're expecting it to reach, you know, back up to the previous high, you know, you long right here, all right, using risk management, you know, there's 15%, and that's with no leverage, okay? If you're shorting right here, there you go, same way, 15%, all right, no leverage. I mean, you pop on 5x leverage on that, you're going to make some good gains, so... That's my analysis for you for this evening. It is 10 p.m. on Father's Day. You know, everyone stay safe out there. Patience is key. And, you know, dollar cost average into Bitcoin. I wouldn't be buying anything else. If you wanted to buy some ETH, you could buy some ETH. But ETH will bleed. ETH will bleed. Okay? Ether is going to be bleeding. This is my ETH BTC. Yes, it is. Let's see. What was it on the daily? Yeah. So what are you forming on your ETH BTC pair real quick before we get out of here? You are forming a bear flag. Just another bear flag for you to break against Bitcoin. So, you know, watch out for your alts. Bitcoin dominance is ready and raring to go. Let's ETH dominance. All right. It's ready to hit this zone right here and start to creep back up. That's what we're saying. And it's likely Bitcoin dominance is down because of stable coins too. So just more food for thought. All right. That is it for the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, ladies and gents.